Hey friend, Brian Fowler here, your online identity theft protection guy. I want to talk to you about identity theft and something that I really haven't talked to you about before, but it's something that happens all the time. It's called building an identity. It's what cyber criminals do. And I got a report in my hand that I printed out from a federal agency talking about this. I want to talk about that real quick. So it's kind of like when you are using your imagination with your Lego set, or you go to build a toy, or the kids go or build a bear or something like that. How they just take the different parts, and in those different parts they create something new. Well, that's one of the ways that they build an identity. That's what cyber criminals do. So they'll take, Bill's driver's license, Tom's social security number, and somebody else's address, and they'll combine their names, make a new name, and combine those pieces of information and create a new identity that they can use to just buy things, steal things, all the things that they do. That's one way they do it. Another way that they do it is they take a social security number that's not been used very much. It's not been used hardly at all. Usually a child or a newborn, they love newborn social security numbers. And what they do there is they create a person with that real number. And since that person has no credit, no debt, no employment history, and they don't even have a criminal record, there's nothing there for them. So what they do with that new person is they begin to apply for credit. And since there is no credit history, they typically get turned down. But they do that 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But what they're doing while doing that is actually creating a credit history. You getting this? So that's where synthetic identity becomes really interesting. And the identity starts becoming real because they're creating a new identity based with that one little piece of information that they've made a new person. And it's hard to prove that they're not real. So a brand new fake individual is treated like any other person when applying for that credit card, right? So like I said, they're not approved the first few times they apply, and then eventually they get the credit card. And so by running a credit check on the false identity, credit history is being created. That's also why they use a child's social security number. It's a real number with no prior credit history, and will most likely be years until that number is used by the person it's taken from. So when someone creates a synthetic identity, it's kind of like hiding in the daylight, in right in front of you. Someone that you work with, or who lives in your neighborhood, or someone you're friends with, could be using a synthetic identity, and you'd never know. You just wouldn't know, and you'd be affected for some time, but not right away. Some argue that there are no victims with synthetic identity because a lot of the time everything they use is made up, but there's always a victim when it comes to identity theft. If they're using a child's social security number, when that child gets to 18, they're going to find charges that they've never had, and they've never been asked to. And they're going to be asked to, and the company's going to hold them personally responsible to pay for all those things. That's what's going to happen. Businesses and banks are losing money because of this. A criminal uses a synthetic identity and obtains employment, file fake tax returns, receive medical care, and use it for other devious means. How do you stop it? Short answer, you can't. But you can be vigilant against it. Keep your information secure and as private as possible. Change your passwords often. Don't put your children's identity out at all until they can do it on their own when they're 17, 18, 19, 20 years of age. It's imperative that you pay attention to what comes in your mail. If you get pieces of mail with someone else's name on it, pay attention to that. That could be a sign that someone is trying to reach the synthetic identity person. They've used your address, they've got your information, and your information is part of that fake persona. Finally, what I highly recommend is to invest in identity theft protection. And this is coming from a federal agency, and this is what they're saying. I'll read it to you verbatim so you don't feel like it's just me making a pitch. Finally, invest in identity theft protection for both you and your children today. Today. This will help you get notified when your information is found on the dark web, or if someone is using your social security number without your knowledge. Just 2 days ago, I got a note from the company that I work with and partner with for identity theft protection that my current email and my current password had been breached. And so I had to go in and create new email, and I had to go in and create new passwords because they had been breached. They don't care who you are, and they love if there's not a history there. So go protect yourself from synthetic identity, from your identity being stolen to create somebody completely new that you don't even know. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So I hope that helps you. I hope that encourages you. I hope it didn't scare you. That's not a scare tactic, but I want you to be aware of what's going on and know that we can't stop them, but we can protect ourselves from them destroying our lives. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Please like and share the video. And if we can help you, let us know. Hey, want more information, put it in the comments, and we'll get that information to you. Thanks. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.